It is 6:42. Welcome back. For years, the Wendale Davis Foundation has addressed violence here in Kern County while also reaching out to help members of the community. And joining us this morning to talk more about their efforts and about where we stand right now following those calls for racial equality last year is the Wendale Davis Foundation Vice President, Wesley Davis III. Wesley, thank you for being here.
Oh, thank you. You're welcome. You're welcome. Good morning.
First of all, let's take a trip back right now to Wendale's murder back in I believe it was 97. And has there been any movement in this case since then? One of probably the great unsolved crimes here in our community.
You know, I mean, my brother was murdered in 2006, and quite frankly, there hasn't been any movement, any rest for us as a family regarding the situation. But, you know, we have faith, and every day we know that there will be someone that comes forward. You know, it'll tug on somebody's spirit to do the right thing. And that's our constant call, is to do the right thing. If you have any information, our constant call, our constant cry is for you to come forward if you have any information that could help.
I mean, after all this time, are you somewhat surprised, though, that someone hasn't come forward?
Yes and no, but we're going to continue to trust the process, and we're going to continue to utilize our faith. But even amongst that, we're going to continue to move forward and do good for the greater good of our community, for those that may have endured the same suffering that we have had. So even though, you know, I may feel like, man, it's been so long, I'm still able to see the benefit and see the good that God has brought from this situation.
You know, when I mentioned 97, I apologize. I was thinking about the start of the Soldiers for Christ movement, which became this. In this day and age right now, from what happened in the BLM movement, it got a big boost last year. Do you see that momentum carrying on right now? Or do you think it got sidetracked at all by what's been going on in Washington, D.C. With the president's impeachment and this pandemic?
Yeah, you know what? I think it has been silenced. It's unfortunate that, you know, that the BLM movement really gets highlighted during times of tragedy. But at the same time, we try to use that tragedy to be able to have some triumph. And you see the stark contrasts between the two movements. You had one group of people that were marching for peace, marching to enlighten others about the wrongdoings done to a group of people. And then you also seen those same people being victimized during their protests, during their silent protests, being tear gassed, been shot at. Then on the flip side, you have a group of people that are supporting another effort and didn't want somebody to leave the White House, and in fact stormed the Capitol. You know, and it was almost as if they were invited in. But I also feel that, you know, through the BLM movements, we are able to open people's eyes a little more to the history of Black folk, because one of the most important things about history is if you don't understand what history was, you'll never understand what history is. So that's one of the most important things there.
There has been a lot of talk by many people, especially here locally, about the steps necessary to make some change. Local law enforcement officials, Sheriff Donnie Youngblood, creating that group of citizens to sort of like oversight. Do you see that as a good first step, and where do we go from there?
I mean, it is a good first step. It's a great first step, but in order to make it a little better than just the first step, I think we have to specifically appoint local Black community leaders, local Black folk to be to oversee some of those things. And then after that, we have to be able to see some of those things in action. I mean, without action, then the conversations were just that, conversations, and it was just feel good, fluffs. And to be quite honest, it's 2021. We've got to begin seeing action now.
Wesley Davis III, Vice President of the Wendale Davis Foundation. I want to thank you for joining us this morning and providing some insight. Appreciate it.
You're welcome. Thank you.